You were charged in 2 cases, 24 CR 74 with assault on a peace officer.
Yeah, that's a charge that's going to go over well in Judge Stevens' court.
Which is a second-degree felony. Plus, you have a prior conviction alleged from 2009 and from the 252nd District Court. So this second-degree felony can be punished as a first-degree felony, which means you're looking at up to life in prison. Do you understand? And in 24 CR 1607, this indictment alleges a second-degree felony has been committed. Strangely enough, there is no prior conviction, though.
That's usually indicative of someone who snitched to get out of a sentence.
What was the call number,
You
Judge?
know what? I don't have the right file. I'm interested in what this case is. I'm curious what the charge is.
It's aggravated assault, Your Honor.
Apparently, this young man has difficulty keeping his hands to himself.
In summary, this alleges well, you can't make this stuff up. Okay, let me go back to 24 CR 74, the assault on a peace officer, sir. The indictment alleges State of Texas versus Glenn Elise Duncan Jr. Sir, how do you pronounce it? Elsie.
Yes,
How do you,
the third.
okay, how do you spell Elsie?
ELZI.
Yeah, it's wrong on this. It's got it. Oh, hold on. Let's take it one mistake at a time. E-L.
CIE.
It was spelled E-L-I-Z-E, which is,
Your Honor, the state would move to amend that spelling on the third line of the indictment, change from what is currently there in the middle name of E-L-I-Z-E to E-L-Z-I-E.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what actually happens when you have a mistake such as that as a typo. Is a typo does not dismiss an indictment. It doesn't make a case go away. All right, stop watching Law and Order and stop listening to frauditors.
is there any objection to the middle name being changed to correct it?
No, that's his name.
It is changed to E-L-Z-I-E, correct.
Also the third, not the sixth.
I know. We're going to go to that problem next because 24 CR 1604 alleges the state of Texas versus Glenn L.Z. Duncan III. This says junior. You're the third, though.
Yes, sir.
Now, keep in mind also, folks, that it is not uncommon in cases where you have seniors, juniors, thirds, fourths, etc., that when they are inclined to criminal behavior, that it is not unheard of for them to use a different relative's actual name for theirs to try to weasel out of it later.
Go ahead. The body of the indictment in 24 CR 74. You're changing it or amending it. It says Glenn L.Z. Duncan Jr., also known as Glenn E-L-I-Z-A Duncan. The junior, though, he claims he's the third. This says junior.
I'm really hoping this kid is not playing games with Judge Stevens just to try to play a technicality game later. Judge Stevens ain't gonna have it.
I'm not making that decision today, Your Honor.
It says the third.
because
Well, it contrasts with 1604, which alleges the third.
understand. I got to track what the priors on this defendant says. So I'm not making that decision
is-
today.
Who is Glenn L.C. Duncan Jr.?
That's my father.
Your dad.
Yeah.
And so your grandfather was Glenn L.C. Duncan.
Actually, my grandfather's name is Elsie Duncan, but you know, he was born, he come from Louisiana.
Yeah. Mine did too. And with things, it's hard to trace the line back.
My birth certificate and my license, my name is Glenn Elsie Duncan.
So your dad was the first Glenn.
Yeah, he's the second. On his birth certificate, he's the second. But I guess my grandmother,
But he was actually the first Glenn in the family, right?
yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we gotta,
All right, perhaps we can move along to why he's standing before you in street clothes and his hands cuffed behind his back today.
asterisk these, I mean, that's a problem because the names are in the body of the indictment. It's different.
I understand, Judge.
Well,
It's an issue I'll need to address, but I've got to work through the priors that he has. And each of the priors, he's given a different spelling of the name. So either it's not him or it needs to be corrected.
yeah, but it's been changed in 0074 to Glenn L.Z. Duncan
Yes, sir.
Jr. L.Z. is added. And so I'm correcting.
I moved to correct the one in 0074 because I recognize that is a misspelling. I'm not at this time making the additional changes to junior or third. And I'm telling Your Honor, the reason why is because of the priors that I have in my file.
Don't worry about it. Y'all gonna have to
I will straighten
figure
it out,
and make
Judge.
it, fix it. Okay. You were here, and so we got a second degree felony that is in 0074 with a prior conviction, so it can be punished as a first degree felony. So you're looking at up to life imprisonment. 24 CR 1604 alleges aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, a first degree felony, and the prior 2009 conviction is also alleged as paragraph 2. If this were all found true, then your first degree felony would be enhanced.
I need to interrupt you, Judge. The caption on that is wrong. It is a second degree felony. The prior will bump it to a first degree. So his arraignment should be as to the same
There's
punishment.
not a doubt about that.
No doubt in my mind.
I don't know that I've ever seen a case in Judge Stevens' court ever this disorganized, and that's the nice way to say it.
But it could be enhanced to a first degree felony punishment like the previous case. All right. You understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
Punishment range is applicable. Mr. Adams, what are you going to do today?
I wanted to give him some time to
Yeah.
hire me on a new case because I was asking the court to give him some time to hire me on a new case. I was hired on the old one, but not the new one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How much time do you need? Is 6 weeks good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Judge, we may need to look, I'm asking the court to look at the bond on cause number 0074. The
About it.
the indictment date was January 24th, 24. There, but you know, you are familiar with the standard bond conditions are that they don't commit an offense while they're out. The case 24 DCCR 1604 indictment date is August 7th, 24. The offense alleged to have occurred on June 29th, 24 was after this defendant posted bond.
The prosecutor is alleging that while on bond for the other offenses, that they can't decide whether it's him or his daddy, that he has violated his bond conditions by catching this new second degree felony.
1604, it is $50,000.
What are you asking?
I would suggest that the 1604 sounds like the appropriate amount, but the $10,000 on 0074 does not reflect his prior that is alleged, in my opinion, nor did it act as a deterrent to prevent him from avoiding an alleged new offense. The safety of the community is my giant concern in this regard.
What about it?
Well, he's alleged to
I
have
know,
committed
what
one
do you know?
violent offense.
So what do you suggest let's say, other than a bond amount raised? What else would you say?
I think we
as
need
conditions?
I think I would ask the court to consider a $50,000 bond on 0074 along with a GPS condition as to each so that we know his location and whereabouts.
Okay. Here's what we're going to do.
Never thought I'd be saying this, but Judge Stevens, it seems like you need to have a get right meeting with your staff.
The complainant in this case, who is that? How are you related to this person?
Which number, Judge?
1604.
I can't tell you, Judge,
No, the Bolden person, lady, how are you related?
that's what y'all said. But she didn't make, they got the wrong names, Judge. She didn't make the complaint. I was trying to tell the magistrate that when he gave me the $50,000 bond. And they gave me a separate TV. I've been away from my home for 3 months. Well, it's about to be over with, but it wasn't her who was called. It was her sister. She don't live at my residence. They charged me with family violence with her, and she's not even the one who called. You understand? It was me and her sister that had gotten into it. Verbal altercation.
Is it just me, or does it seem like everyone in this case needs to quickly remove their heads from their asses?
On paper where they signed it, they scratched out the sister name and put her.
This is a more detailed report from the officer that wrote the PC. I showed you got the discovery. I showed that you got the discovery. You showed that already. Oh, great. That's right.
Well, not to make it any more confusing than is possible in any particular set of circumstances, but this one really takes the cake.
That's a damn understatement, Your Honor.
Because as I'm reading this, we've got 2 people involved here, 2 females, one Kiera,
Yes,
Kierra,
that's the sister.
and Kehia,
Kia.
Keehia.
Yes, sir.
How more confusing can this be? So you got 2 people whose names are by 1 letter different, and they're sisters?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm looking at the probable cause affidavit, and one of them, whoever it was, not only called the police show up, they have a video, he watches the video on the phone of you threatening to kill people.
No,
So no, nothing. It's what the police swore to. So whoever it is, whether it's one spelling or the other, somebody is claiming to be a complainant, and that's for y'all to hash out. The state is obligated to prove the case as it alleges. If they allege the wrong thing, then you're going to be able to maybe sidestep out of here. But the fact of the matter is I'm looking at this probable cause affidavit, which is disturbing to say the least. Plus the police are looking at a video of you. We're talking about who the complainant is. That's for the state. That's the state's problem. They got the burden to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. And if they get the wrong person, then that is the problem. That can be a problem. But right now, I am, because of this, going to order a GPS device. But I would like to know exactly who the complainant is, because he can't have any contact with the complainant.
And again, unless they're one of his alleged victims, or they are, for instance, they have a criminal past, that would conflict with what he's allowed to be around as per his bond conditions, you actually legally have to have the correct person.
Your
Who
Honor,
the heck is the complainant?
I'm standing by what's in the indictment. I've reviewed the file prior to our appearance today. And I appreciate that there's a difference of an opinion between the parties, but the state will stand by the name in the indictment.
Okay, who is, the complainant is what relation to him?
And that is, my understanding, is his fiance.
His fiance. Right now, you can't have any contact with your fiance. If I find out you do, your bond is revoked and you'll sit in jail. I don't care what it is. That's the absolute rule. A victim, complainant, that's the rule in all cases. That has to get worked out. But there are no exceptions to that.
Just how about if I can work out today that she's not the complainant, and then therefore you wouldn't
Look, I'm not going to do deals. You present it to me, then I'll tell you what I can do. But I'm not going to forecast the
Oh,
problem.
no, I
This
think
is,
I think I
these
can.
are, look, these familial issues, especially with their violence, they are just tinder boxes of dynamite to explode. That's why we have to deal with it delicately and carefully. And people have to be separated because and the rules are all the same. You can't have any contact with complainant. All defendants, every defendant don't interrupt you, can't have any contact. And it's for the court to sort this out when it's a mess like this seems to be.
Yeah, it's not really in your nature, Judge Stevens, to do understatements, but you just laid one hell of a big one out.
Here, there's some confusion, what you're saying, what he's saying. But I'm not going to have a hearing right now. But I'm happy to have a hearing as soon as possible to figure this mess out. Because y'all are saying one thing, he's saying something else. Somebody's right, probably, and somebody's wrong. But it certainly is enhanced by the fact that the spelling of these two people's names are one letter different. So it may not be unusual for reports to be misspelled somehow and work their way into an indictment. But the state's obligated to they have obligations, and I expect they will meet those obligations. They do it. So they know how important it is to figure those things out. But if there's a problem, you raise it. But right now, I'm not going to have a hearing over that. But you don't have any contact with the complainant. The complainant, according to the indictment, is your fiance. You can't have any contact. I don't care what it is. You do it, your bond will be revoked. You'll sit this thing out in jail until we can resolve this.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying, Judge. I've been away from.
It's not a debate. It's the rule.
No means no.
Because as of this hearing, whether it's accurate or not, whether it's correct or not, at this point in time, his victim, alleged victim, is his fiance. So no, you can't have any contact with her.
I'm not debating with you. I'm just.
What do you want me to do? You're about to say something. What do you want me to do?
I've been away. I've been actually away from her and
Okay, then that's the best way to do it until this gets resolved, sir. What are we going to talk about now? I mean, I'm not going to change this. It's not going to be an exception. I know a judge that made an exception. And later, there was a funeral that occurred. You can imagine how everybody felt with that. There are no exceptions when it's violence alleged. We got to sort this out.
Judge, do I understand you're leaving the $10,000 amount at that?
Yeah, right now the bonds are the same, but the GPS is ordered. You have to have a GPS device so I know where you are at all times. I find out you have contact, you shall not have contact. And if I do, then you'll sit in jail until we can resolve both of these cases.
And that's what I like about Judge Stevens is, we haven't played as many videos from him in the last few months as we would like to, but Judge Stevens doesn't bullshit around. I mean, he respects the state's side just as much as he does the defendant's side. And that is the markings of a good judge. He also, you can tell by this video, looks out for the victims as well. Anyway, guys, it's Wrangler. I'm out of here. I love y'all. Have a good one.